Now we're going to go through the second half of the packet that we worked through today. So these are all questions that are in the back of your packet. Please make sure you do them first before you watch the video. So in this problem it says which represents the perimeter of the rectangle. So perimeter would just mean you're adding up all the way around, all the sides. So there's a couple different ways you could do this. You could actually multiply this by 2 and then add it to this times 2. Or you could just add up all the sides. I'm going to do multiply by 2 and distribute first. So you get 6x plus 8 plus 2 times 2x minus 3. And you know what's funny? I wasn't even looking yet, but it looks like they didn't even simplify it. It looks like they just did what we were trying to do, which would be 2 times one side and add that to 2 times the other side. So the answer is B. You don't even have to get a simplified answer. Next one, area of the rectangle. Which of the following could be the length? So if I want to know the length of the sides, I want to factor this. So I'm looking for the two things that multiply to 12 that add to negative 8. So it'd be negative 2 and negative 6. So there they are. Jill bought 2 games for a total of $6. If one game was X dollars, what would the other cost of the other game? Well, think about it. If I bought something for $10 and the total price was $15, I would just subtract. So here, you know the total was $6, so you're going to subtract the one game, which was X dollars, so it'd be 6 minus X, because you're subtracting the one game to get to the other game. Number 4, Tom uses a phone card. It gives us a formula to know his total cost. So if you know the total cost, and you want to know for each minute, you would take the total and divide by the number of minutes. And the number of minutes, remember, was X. So this would be it. Right here, number 5, remember that since it's a binomial, you don't distribute. 2x plus 7 squared means 2x plus 7 times 2x plus 7. And after you do FOIL, you will end up with D. 6, simplified product coefficient of the x term. So simplified product means you're going to multiply it. So you're going to do FOIL, and you'll end up with 6x squared plus 15x plus 14x plus 35. So these combine to be 29x, and it says the x term, so the coefficient's the number in front, so the answer is 29. Number 7, how many terms are in the simplified product? So here you have a binomial times a trinomial, so you're going to distribute each one in. So when I distribute the x in, I get x to the third plus 2x squared plus 4x. Then I'm going to go ahead and distribute the negative 2 in to each term, and I get negative 2x squared minus 4x minus 8. And then when I combine things, positive 4x and negative 4x cancel out. Positive 2x squared and negative 2x squared cancel out. I'm left with x to the third minus 8, and there are 2 terms. So it says how many terms? The answer would be 2. Here you're given the perimeter, and you're given 2 of the sides. So if we add up the sides, which means we combine like terms, so 6x squared and 4x squared are 10x squared. 8x and negative 3x are positive 5x. And 7 and negative 9 are negative 2. So if I take the perimeter, the total, and subtract what I have, I'm going to be left with the final side. So remember to distribute the minus sign by keep, change, change. Going to cross this out. We don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to combine like terms. Negative 10x squared, 15x squared is 5x squared. Negative 2x, negative 5x is negative 7x. And positive 2, negative 10 would be negative 8. And that would be your final and third side. Here, we've done ones like this before, so I'm not going to go and explain the whole thing on how to do it. But remember, to find the area of the shaded, or I'm sorry, it says the sidewalk would actually be the unshaded. So this right here would be the sidewalk. So you want to find the area of the whole thing using these sides, and then subtract the inside area, which would be found by multiplying those sides. Number 1 represents the area of the square. It would be 25r squared. I think we did one of these on the other slide. Polynomial is in standard form, so I'm looking for the powers of x that are in decreasing order, which would be this one, x to the third, x to the second, x, and then just no x, so x to the 0. Number 3, you have a monomial and a power on the outside, so you could distribute it in, and you end up getting 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so 16 x to the 12th y to the 4th. Number 4, it's a division of monomials, so you divide the numbers, but they just reduce to 1/2. You get x to the second, because 4 minus 2, and I actually can't see what that number is, but it looks like a 2. So if it's y squared divided by y squared, they just end up canceling out, and that's your answer. Here we go, scientific notation. 0.03 is a small number, so it's, if you move the decimal over, you would get 3.0 times 10, but you want to move the decimal back to the left twice, so you would end up -2. So that would be this right here, C. Standard notation would mean you actually have to solve it out. So first you divide, so you get 2 times 10, and 10 to the third divided by 10 to the 5th is 10 to the -2nd. So this answer would be 0.02. What degree is the monomial? So remember, you take each and add up each exponent's power. It looks like it's 3, 4, and that looks like a 5, though I can't really see it. It's a little blurry, but you would add up each of these, and if it was 3, 4, and 5, you would get 7 plus 5, which is a degree of 12. Number 8, look at the figure below. What represents the area of the shaded region? So let's find the whole area would be x times x. But let me simplify that, and that's x squared. The area of this is y times z, which is just yz. So the area of the shaded would be the whole thing minus what you don't need. So this would be the representative of the area. Amount of money, you're going to write these numbers. So these are really large numbers. So the first number becomes 7.032 times 10 to the, you have to move the decimal back 1, 2, 3, then 6, then 9, then 12. And the second one is 2.93 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if I want to know if they were divided equally among the people, remember you would divide these numbers, and then you would, whatever answer that is, it'd be times 10 to the 4th, because you could just subtract the powers of 10. I hope that helps. Remember to watch all the videos on Chapter 8 and 9.